Hey, welcome to this episode of What I Learned Today. So, I was thinking about this idea of when life shouts at you. And what I mean is, there are times when we know we need to exit situations, right? Relationships have come to an end. This could be with a friend, with a loved one, a romantic partner, or a job that you know it's been time for you to leave. It can even be with a volunteer organization. It's been time for you to leave and you know it, but you haven't done it. And not, you're coming up with reasons why you're waiting to leave, whether it's waiting to the end of a season or the end of a month or an end of a year or an end of a term. There's something that you're waiting for, but the relationship dynamics get more intense. You find yourself arguing more. You find yourself easily irritated and frustrated. And it's not because you're tired, it's not because you're cranky, it's just the dynamic is just getting more intense and not in a positive way. And what I found in my life is that as the temperature continues to rise, as the intensity continues to rise, as the frequency of the conflicts continue to rise, it's because that's life shouting at me. Like all the smaller ones were kind of like whispers, like, hey, it's time to go. Hey, the dynamic has changed. You need to shift. And you didn't listen to those. So then it gets louder, right? And it gets louder. And then next thing you know, there's this huge conflict. And now it's like, I'm tired of this. I'm out of here. I never wanted to be here anyway. I don't like working here. I quit. Meanwhile, you could have done that many whispers ago and potentially salvaged a healthier relationship, kept yourself from having to experience extreme feelings and frustrations, potentially saying things that you're unable to take back or that the person it will the relationship just won't be the same anymore and may not be able to repair, but it's because you hadn't listened to the whispers. You didn't follow the guidance from the whispers when it was time to leave. um, the window, the proverbial window was open and you could have climbed out the window. Now, not only is the window open, the door is open and the wall has been knocked down. And sometimes people still choose not to leave, but it's time to go. So, where in your life is it time to make a change? And it may not be. Some people are listening to this and it doesn't pertain to you right now, and that's fine, that's great. For those who have had these experiences, this can be a good time to reflect on when you saw the signs, right? First, there was a yellow flag, then there was a golden flag, then there was an orange flag, and then there was a red flag, and then there was a whole doggone red parade where it was like, I knew I should have left. It's important that you learn this about you so that you can begin to recognize those flags earlier on, that you can begin to recognize and hear those whispers within yourself earlier on, and those whispers that are coming to you so that everything doesn't have to turn into a shouting match. I know for me, I don't like to be yelled at. I don't like somebody to shout at me. All you have to say is, Kathleen, this is, it's time to go. I had an incident one time where I was in my quiet space and I heard that I wouldn't be at the same job where I was 6 months from now. And the message was so very clear inside of me. And I didn't like the message because I very much liked where I was working. I liked my coworkers. I liked the staff. I liked everything about where I was. And I didn't want to leave, but I couldn't deny what I heard. And then I told a friend of mine what I heard. And I said, well, I'm going to pray. And I'm going to pray that God changes God changes his mind. And it was just like, and she said to me, you don't want to be anywhere where the hand of God is not. My whole stomach, my whole inside, my whole soul just rumbled. And that was a fact for me, right? You all have to decide what's your truth. For me, that was an absolute truth. I did not want to be anywhere where the hand of God wasn't, right? For me, I always want to be where God wants me to be. I always want that covering, that protection, and all the perks that come with being where God is with me. So once she said that, I slowly but surely accepted the message that I received. Now, time continued to go forward and nothing had changed. I hadn't noticed anything. Everybody was still working there. I was still enjoying my time there. There was no incident that happened. And I was like, all right, God, I know I heard you clearly, but I'm not seeing anything. Nobody was trying to poach me and have me work somewhere else. I had no clue, but I knew that I heard what I heard. And the clear message was you wouldn't be there by September 1st. And then on August 29th, August 30th, there was a change in the organization. And that change in the organization caused a change in my contract. And that change in my contract caused a change in me wanting to be there. And upon me choosing not to be there anymore, that led me to make new decisions in my life. And so it was that whisper, though, that I initially heard 6 months prior to that, that enabled me and prepared me to, one, be on alert and to be ready to make whatever that next decision would be. So therefore, I wasn't blindsided. Now, sometimes, yes, stuff comes out of the blue, but many times there's been whispers along the way. And so we have to learn how to tune our ear into paying attention to those whispers. And those whispers can be in the form of what I call divine downloads, knowings, repeated messages that you hear in songs. Sometimes song lyrics will come popping into your head. Repeated messages that you see on television shows, commercials, billboards, books, and so forth, right? Those are the whispers that I'm talking about. Let me see here. In my book, Live by the Spirit, there is a passage, spirit language. So on page 11, and yes, all books are available on Amazon. And so, real quick, I'll read this. So, spirit language. When we live by the Spirit, we have chosen to partner with something greater than our physical selves. When we think of the Spirit, we often think of something that is not physical, something that cannot be contained, and something that does not have physical limitations. Take a moment and think about the endless possibilities of partnering with something that is limitless, boundless, and is not constricted or restricted by time or space. Ask Spirit to speak to you. Know that Spirit speaks in a variety of ways. Some people say they hear a still small voice inside of them. Others say they feel a push or an urge to do something. Give yourself time to sit still, listen, and move to the inner guidance that is speaking to you. This guidance and direction may come to you in a dream, when watching or listening to a television or radio show, while spending time in nature, or during an unexpected conversation. Once you activate and partner with spirit, your guidance and direction will come in many forms. So be ready. God bless and live by the Spirit. Like I said, that's from my first book, Live by the Spirit, Volume 1. Excuse me, my second book, Live by the Spirit, Inspired Thoughts, Volume 1. I had to laugh because I said radio show in here. So y'all know how old this was, because I know a lot of people aren't listening to radio anymore. They're streaming and so forth. But nowadays, with like reels and shorts and things like that, you'll get these repetitive messages like, I keep hearing the same message, the same guidance. Yes, sometimes it has to do with the algorithm and it's sending you stuff. But there's times where you hear that message and it resonates with you so strongly that you know that that's another opportunity to listen to the whisper so that life doesn't have to shout at you. All right, y'all. I hope it helps. I'll see you soon. Take care.